So,
about goal attainment today. Is it acknowledges a client's strengths.
hey guys, Joe Komzeski, founder of The Diet Doc. Last Friday you saw me do a short video on meal frequency or meal spacing. That was actually the first topic within the discussion, was frequency of meals. But in meal planning, I got to present kind of an overview of the topics that I think are important. But in our Feel the Change Friday segments, where Dr. Corey Probst, myself, a couple of our program owners around the world each month pick different topics and present that information, I decided I wanted to kind of take this to a new level on my own and break it into smaller subtopics so that I can give you guys one thing to take away. And matter of fact, that's what I'm going to be calling this, kind of the one thing segment, for lack of a better term. But I really want to make sure that we have a point that you can implement and really see that it was worthwhile. So the first thing I want to do is talk about meal frequency again, because I think in terms of anti-catabolism or anabolism, your goal to increase lean body mass or at least maintain your body mass, whatever your goals are in terms of performance, that's a big part of our overall well-being. But so is being lean, healthy, and controlling our body composition in a way that might be the healthiest. So those are actually totally opposite approaches. You can't get the best of both worlds on this one, but you do get to pick where you place that needle in any given day or for a goal set. So what I want you to understand is the one thing to know about that balancing act is you want to have enough time between meals. This is critical, so your body can use all of that energy. Anytime we sit down and eat a meal, we're going to use a lot of that glucose, those amino acids right now on the spot. Then for the next couple hours, digestion is still occurring, we're using that. If we do happen to store any glycogen or body fat, in between meals, we should have enough time to use that. And speaking of protein last week, I didn't get a chance to mention that some meals, especially a whole food meal, depending on the context of that meal time, you could have protein being digested and assimilated 5, 6, 7 hours later, and yet we've been told you have to shove another meal in 2 or 3 hours, and it's just not necessary. That will be completely consequential to your disadvantage if your goal is to lose body fat. So in terms of intermittent fasting, that can be too long of a space because now we've moved the fulcrum into losing energy or using energy so much that we're dipping into amino acids. We're going to lose lean body mass. But grazing is the opposite, where we never give our bodies that chance to use energy. So you get to decide per day, per context, how many meals you want, how much spacing, and it can look different. If you've just trained and you had a post-workout meal, your metabolism is skyrocketing. You might need a meal 90 or 120 minutes later. Then later in the day, you might go 4 or 5 hours, and metabolically, you just don't need it. So understanding those contexts are crucial. I got a lot of videos on metabolic positioning that discuss this, but we're gonna hit this topic again in the next couple weeks as I just move a little bit deeper into this segment. So the one thing you need to know about meal frequency is how and why you're going to control that pivot point in your meal spacing per day. Ask every single meal, do I need this right now based on what I've consumed prior to this and what the rest of my day is going to look like, or when that next meal is. So a lot of things to consider, but that's the first thing that you need to know. Thanks, guys.